This is my video reassessment for collisions. Two African swallows fly toward one another, carrying coconuts. The first swallow is flying north horizontally with a speed of 20 meters per second. The second swallow is flying at the same height as the first in the opposite direction with a speed of 15 meters per second. The mass of the first swallow is 0.27 kilograms, and the mass of his coconut is 0.8 kilograms. The second swallow's mass is 0.22 kilograms, and her coconut's mass is 0.7 kilograms. The swallows collide and lose their coconuts. Immediately after the collision, the 0.8 kilogram coconut travels 10 degrees west of south with a speed of 13 meters per second, and the 0.7 kilogram coconut moves 30 degrees east of north with a speed of 14 meters per second. The two birds are tangled up with one another and stop flapping their wings as they travel off together. What is the velocity of the birds immediately after the collision? So I made a little diagram showing all the momentum, all the speeds before and then after. And there's one that's unknown right here that we have to find. So there's no outside forces, so the sum of all forces is 0. So that means the momentum before has to be equal to the momentum afterwards. So the momentum before in the y direction is equal to the momentum after in the y direction. So here's our momentums for the y direction. So the mass of the first bird plus the mass of the first coconut times the velocity that they're going at plus the mass of the second bird times the mass, plus the mass of the second coconut times the velocity of them two is equal to the mass of coconut 1 minus the velocity of coconut 1 cosine 10 degrees for the y direction, plus mass of the coconut 2 times velocity of coconut 2 cosine 30 degrees, plus the mass of bird 1 plus the mass of bird 2 times the final velocity. So if you solve for final velocity for that one, you would get 19.09 meters per second in the y direction. Now for our x direction, there's no momentum in the x direction before, so that equals to 0. So 0 equals the momentum afterwards. So mass of the first coconut times negative velocity coconut 1 sine 10 plus the mass of the second coconut times the velocity second coconut times sine 30 plus the mass of the bird 1 plus mass of the bird 2 times velocity final. So the final velocity in the x direction is going to be equal to negative 6.314 meters per second. So if we use our Pythagorean theorem, the final velocity, vector velocity, magnitude of it, is going to be 20.11 meters per second. And if we use tangent, so the inverse tangent of negative 6.314 meters per second over 19.09 meters per second, and then we'll find the angle at where it's going. So it's going to go 18 degrees, so 18 degrees west of north. So our final velocity for both the birds after they collide is 20.11 meters per second at 18 degrees west of north.